Running commands. In this video, we are going to see about running commands. The simplest way to run a command is to just type the name of the command from a shell. From your desktop, open a terminal window. Then type the following command. Type the date command with no options or arguments, causes the current day, month, date, time, time zone, and year to be displayed. The pwd command shows your current working directory. Typing hostname shows your computer's hostname. The ls command lists the files and directories in your current directory. While many commands can be run by just typing command names, it's more common to type more after the command to modify its behavior. The characters and words you can type after a command are called options and arguments. Some simple commands. In this video, we are going to see about some simple commands. Recalling commands using command history. The shell history is a list of the commands that you have entered before. Using the history command in a bash shell, you can view your previous commands. Then, using various shell features, you can recall individual command lines from that list and change them. The rest of this section describes how to do command line editing, how to complete parts of command lines, and how to recall and work with the history list. Command line editing. If you type something wrong on a command line, the bash shell ensures that you don't have to delete the entire line and start over. Likewise, you can recall a previous command line and change the elements to make a new command. By default, the bash shell uses command line editing that is based on the Emacs text editor. To do the editing, you can use a combination of control keys, meta keys, and arrow keys. For example, Ctrl plus F means to hold the control key and type F. Alt plus F means to hold the Alt key and type F. To try out a bit of command line editing, type the following. This command lists the contents of the /user/bin directory, sorts the contents in alphabetical order, that is regardless of case, and pipes the output to less. The last command displays the first page of output. After watch, you can go through the rest of the output, a line that is press enter, or a page that is press spacebar at a time. Simply press Q when you are done. Now suppose you want to change /user/bin to /bin. You can use the following steps to change the command. Press the up arrow key. This displays the most recent command from your shell history. Press Ctrl plus A. This moves the cursor to the beginning of the command line. Press Ctrl plus F or the right arrow. Repeat this command a few times to position the cursor under the first slash. Press Ctrl+D. Type this command 4 times to delete /user from the line. Press Enter. This executes the command line. You can use a right arrow and left arrows to move the cursor from one end to the other on the command line. You can also press the up and down arrow keys to step through previous commands in the history list to select a command line for editing. There are many keystrokes you can use to edit your command lines. List the keystrokes that you can use to move around the command line. The keystrokes can be used to edit command lines. Use the keystrokes to cut and paste text on a command line. Getting help. In this video, we are going to see about getting help. Bash has a built-in help facility available for each of the shell built-ins. To use it, type help followed by the name of the shell built-in. For example, change the current directory to dir. The variable $home is the default dir. The variable cd path defines the search path for the directory containing dir. Alternative directory names in cd path are separated by a colon. A null directory name is the same as the current directory, that is dot. If a directory begins with a slash, then cd path is not used. If the directory is not found and the shell option cdable vars is set, then try the word as a variable name. If that variable has a value, then cd to the value of that variable. The -p option says to use the physical directory structure instead of following symbolic links. The -link option forces symbolic links to be followed. A vertical bar character indicates mutually exclusive items in the case of the cd command above. This notation says that the command cd may be followed optionally by either a -l or a -p and further, optionally followed by the argument dir. While the output of help for the cd commands is concise and accurate. The what is command. In this video, we are going to see about the what is command. What is displays short manual page descriptions. Each manual page has a short description available within it. What is searches the manual page names and displays the manual page descriptions of any name matched. Name may contain wildcards, that is -w, or be a regular expression, that is -r. Using these options, it may be necessary to quote the name or escape, that is slash, the special characters to stop the shell from interpreting them. Index databases are used during the search and are updated by the man-b program. Depending on your installation, this may be run by a periodic cron job or may need to be run manually after new manual pages have been installed. To produce an old-style text Waters database from the relative index database, issue the command. Where man path is a manual page hierarchy such as /user/man. The help option. In this video, we are going to see about the help option. Many executable programs support a ~help option that displays a description of the command's supported syntax and options. For example, some programs don't support the ~help option, but try it anyway. Often, it results in an error message that will reveal the same usage information. The man command. In this video, we are going to see about the man command. Most executable programs intended for command line use provide a formal piece of documentation called a manual or man page. A special paging program called man is used to view them. It is used like this, where program is the name of the command to view. Man pages vary somewhat in format but generally contain a title, a synopsis of the command syntax, a description of the command's purpose, and a listing and description of each of the command's options. Man pages, however, do not usually include examples and are intended as a reference, not a tutorial. As an example, let's try viewing the main page for the ls command. On most Linux systems, man uses less to display the manual page, so all of the familiar less commands work while displaying the page. The manual that man displays is broken into sections and not only covers users commands but also system administration commands, programming interfaces, file formats, and more. The table below describes the layout of the manual. Sometimes we need to look in a specific section of the manual to find what we are looking for. This is particularly true if we are looking for a file format that is also the name of a command. Without specifying a section number, we always get the first instance of a match, probably in section 1. For example, this will display the man page describing the file format of the /etc/password file. Navigating man pages. In this video, we are going to see about navigating man pages. Navigating a man page is fairly simple. To move up and down line by line, use the up and down arrow keys. To move up page by page, you can use the page up and page down keys. Do, however, note that these navigation instructions assume the environmental pager variable is set to use the default pager less. Less also has a few other commands for navigation, but the arrow keys usually suffice. The info command. In this video, we are going to see about the info command. The GNU project provides an alternative to man pages for their programs called info. Info pages are displayed with the reader program named, appropriately enough, info. Info pages are hyperlinked much like web pages. Here is a sample. File coreutils.info node is invocation next dir directory invocation up directory listing. The ls program lists information about files that is of any type including directories. Options and file arguments can be intermixed arbitrarily as usual. For non-option command line arguments that are directories, by default, ls lists the contents of the directories, not recursively, and omitting files with names beginning with. For other non-option arguments, by default, ls lists just the file name. If no non-option argument is specified, ls operates on the current directory, acting as if it had been invoked with a single argument of dot. The info program reads into files, which are tree structured into individual nodes, each containing a single topic. Info files contain hyperlinks that can move you from node to node. A hyperlink can be identified by its leading asterisk and is activated by placing the cursor upon it and pressing the Enter key. To invoke info, type info followed optionally by the name of a program. Commands used to control the reader while displaying an info page. Most of the command line programs we have discussed so far are part of the GNU project's coreutils package. We'll display a menu page with hyperlinks to each program contained in the coreutils package. Navigating info pages. In this video, we are going to see about navigating info pages, the table that outlines your basic navigation. The C character is your control key and M stands for meta. For some people, meta is Alt and for some it's the escape key. So if a key binding calls for C to N, that would mean hold down your control key and push the letter N. Man navigation and info navigation can both be navigated with arrow keys, but then there are added commands for moving around nodes. Hypertext language is being used and there is a lot more information in info pages than there are in man pages. So because of this, there had to be a way of navigating the complex labyrinths of indexes. Extended documentation. In this video, we are going to see about extended documentation. Many software packages installed on your system have documentation files residing in the /user/share/doc directory. Most of these are stored in plain text format and can be viewed with less. Some of the files are in HTML format and can be viewed with a web browser. We may encounter some files ending with a .gs extension. This indicates that they have been compressed with the gzip compression program. The gzip package includes a special version of less called zless that will display the contents of gzip compressed text files. Redhat Documentation. In this video, we are going to see about Redhat Documentation. The /user/share/doc/directory stores documentation of all installed packages under subdirectories that match package names following by the version of the package. For example, the entry for the gzip package looks like. In this example, gzip is the name of the package followed by dash and the package version -1.3.12. Now run the / command again, but with the -d option to see what files are in there. These files contain a huge amount of useful information on the gzip package. Read the contents of these files for more information. Red Hat Enterprise Linux 6 documentation. The Red Hat's documentation website at docs.redhat.com contains product documentation on RHEL6 in HTML, PDF, and EPUB formats. This set of documentation includes release and technical notes, and guides on installation, deployment, virtualization, logical volume manager, storage administration, security, and SE Linux.